Now to start off, I'm going to be using L'Oreal's Infallible Primer, which is mattifying base. I like this primer a lot, and yeah. Looking all kinds of Azonto ghosty right now. Hi guys, how are you? It's been a long time since I've actually done Get Ready With Me. I'm using NYX's eyeshadow base. And I'm going to be using the Juvia's palette today, which is getting quite popular. I obviously had to be different and get the Masquerade. For a transition colour, ooh, what am I going to do? Okay, first I'm going to use Burkina, which is that one. This isn't as clean as it could be, which is that colour there. It's kind of like a browny, ashy, sandy colour, just as a bit of a transition. On the eye, I'm going for like a really dramatic purple eye today. Obviously, I'm going to state straight from the jump that I am not a makeup professional. This is just how I like to do my makeup. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's get closer. So yeah, today I've always wanted to do like a Get Ready With Me, which can also be almost like my rant videos, if you know what I mean, so we can like combine them. Next, by the way, I'm going to be using, what shall we do? I'm going to be using Ada, and that's just going to warm up the eye before we go into the pink and then go into the purple. And as you can see, I'm basically going above my eyelid and just sweeping it back and forth with this. This is a fluffy brush from Makeup Addiction. I'm just going to be going into Zebo. But with Zebo, I'm going to be using this contour brush by e.l.f. Just so that I can kind of pack the colour on, because this is going to be like one of the main colours of this look. So I'm just going to go into the crease with it. I'm going to pack it on. I'm not going to blend it so much yet. Anyway, one thing that's really been on my mind recently is like, well, mental health. Obviously, I've talked about mental health quite a lot with you guys. Please do not mind the traffic's quite loud outside. Talked about mental health quite a lot with you guys before. And one thing that's been on my mind is just like learning how to spot toxic people in your life and then either moving yourself away from them or just not cutting them out, but, you know, minimizing the effect that they have on your life by like moving away from them, basically cutting them out, just not like a savage. And like the funniest thing happened recently. I've been learning to drive. Okay, after we've gone in with Zobo with that contour brush by e.l.f., we're gonna blend that color out with this blending brush by Makeup Addiction again. And that's just gonna have like a nice smooth gradient because we're gonna be having like a pinky purple look. So it just smooths it in with the other colors that we've used as a transition. Yeah, like one thing, oh my gosh, actually I could have just used this brush by this Makeup Addiction brush, this one. Yeah, but it's similar to the e.l.f. one, it's just not as packed together. So yeah, I'm just going to be going back with Zobo and packing the colour on a lot more now, and this brush is really good for that. Anyway, so the funniest thing happened recently is basically I'm learning to drive at the moment, and my driving instructor, like, things just turned really ugly real quick. Like, apparently he figured out that with some sort of bizarre psychology that I don't respond well to soft teaching. So like, you know, like soft encouragement, teaching me how to drive and stuff. So things literally went from 0 to 100 so quickly, and in the next couple of lessons, like, he started like shouting at me whenever I did something wrong. And I do not respond well to criticism, like, especially like a lot of my close friends, they know I don't respond well to criticism. I'm already hard on myself as it is, do you know what I mean? And he started shouting at me, and every time I did something wrong, like, why are you not going into third gear? And then I'd explain, But he wasn't interested in my explanations, like it was a rhetorical question. And it was just like, why are you asking me and shouting at me rhetorical questions when you are not interested in what I have to say? And at first I was thinking that this is normal. I'm going into Makeda right there with the same brush. I could clean it, but I really just, who's keeping watch, eh? Who's keeping watch? Yeah, so I'm just gonna deepen this side of the eye and this side with that Makeda purple hue, and just basically just add it on top. Yeah, so it just got really shouty, and I thought that this was like the normal way that like driving instructors teach people, until I spoke to my friend at church, and I was just like, oh my gosh, my driving instructor keeps on shouting at me. And now, like, every time I have a driving lesson booked, I lay awake at night thinking, I've got a driving lesson and I'm really bloody scared of this guy, and I'm scared of all the mistakes I'm gonna make. I'm talking like literally like lying awake at like 12 o'clock at night thinking all of this stuff. And I just thought, no, this is not normal. And then I spoke to my brother, and my brother was like, no, so this is toxic. It needs to go. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it is toxic. This is not normal. And he was telling me how his driving instructor was really patient with him. And I remember reading this extract from My Dear Child, which is a book I've featured quite a lot on my channel. By the way, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this fluffy brush, go into Zobo a little bit, take a little bit of that color, and then just blend back and forth, just to get that this purple to be a lot more dramatic. And I'm just gonna keep on doing that until I kind of like how it's looking. In fact, let me zoom in a little bit more. And he was just like, no, Osa, that's really not normal. Like, if you're already a perfectionist and already so hard on yourself, why would you want someone around who doesn't realize that? And as I was saying, like when I was reading in My Dear Child, it was just saying how God brings people to your life who give you what you need. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that everyone's perfect, but as much as they take from you, they're willing to give back as well. Like, that's how you know, like, God has brought this person to your life, because they're not just taking, and they're not doing things that emphasize your flaws and make you feel worse about yourself. And to be honest, like, that, in my mind, like, that's one of the telltale signs of someone who's been brought by the devil to your life to sap energy from you, is like someone who just takes energy from you, takes your love, takes your affection, doesn't give anything back, maximizes your flaws, makes you feel worse about yourself. And even though like, this is just about, well, this isn't just about my driving instructor, but it was just one of the things that made me realize, oh my gosh, like, it's true. You can't allow someone to be around you who treats you that way. And so yeah, today's Get Ready With Me chat is really about like toxic people. It's really about toxic people. Y'all better not complain that this video is too long. Okay. It's really just about toxic people and just noticing the things that just aren't quite right. Like for me, like if I catch one bad vibe, you're on my Kill Bill list. Like not as in to die, but like I'm watching you closely, and if you make a couple more mistakes that show me that you're wrong for my life, adios. See you later. Now what I'm gonna do is I have these amazing glitters that was sent to me by, please focus. There we go. By Glitz by Laura, who's actually a subscriber. And I'm actually gonna be using, amethyst. I'm gonna just be taking a shader brush. Yeah, focus please. I'm gonna be using a shader brush, and I'm just gonna spritz it with this NYX setting spray, and I'm just gonna go in. And this is why I haven't done my foundation, because glitter just gets everywhere. And you know, like I talk to a lot of like younger female friends who always talk about friends who either talk down about them, especially like if you're in a group of people. I always say, like, watch how your friends behave around you in a group of people, because if they like talk over you in discussions, shout out Slum Fat Flower, she did a Twitter thread about this, basically the same topic, and she was saying some of this stuff, like if friends talk over you in conversations when you're out in public, if they make jokes that demean you, for me that's a telltale sign that they're toxic, and they finna go, like they got to go. So yeah, I'm just tapping this in the middle, and I'm just making sure that it's kind of concentrated in the middle, but like blends out, if you can see what I mean. Blends out, so it's not just like one dab of glitter, but it's kind of like there's a gradient of it fading into the rest of the color. And that's one eye done. And it's the same thing for the next eye. So yeah, like that's just one thing I'm learning right now, is just to watch toxic people. Like for me, like if people don't respect your mental health, and if you certain things that you need right now in your life for your mental health and to be okay, and people around you can't respect that, for me that's a telltale sign that they're toxic. I mean, there's some people that you can't escape from. I think this one I did do too much, so I might have to blend this out with this brush. There's people in your life, like family and stuff, that you can't escape, and my heart does go out to people like that. But one thing I would say is just limit your interaction with those people, if they are your family or if you do live with them and stuff. So yeah, that is my 2 pence on toxic friends and toxic people. I mean, you know, being on YouTube, me personally, I've had a lot of like friends who were friends with me, but then as I got more like known on YouTube and stuff, like they started acting really weird. And I'm just gonna sweep that away with this. Some of this ain't gonna come off, you know. See, this is how you know I am not a professional. I'm gonna try and get this off. But yeah, there've been so many people who like have talked down on me and stuff, only because they're just jealous that I've started to come up. And it's not even like I'm making this up, like they've actually told me later on, like, this is why I was treating you a certain way. It's because I felt belittled and threatened about where you were going compared to where I was going. And growing up, I was very like sneaky, I was very like looked down on. Like if you ask anyone in school if I would be on YouTube like doing jokey videos and stuff, they would never have said it, because I was very like shy and timid, and just I was a bit broken, if I'm honest. So I think people didn't expect me to do what I'm doing now, and when they see me doing it, some of them try and say things to bring me down. And I'm just learning to limit my interaction with those types of people. Oh, right now I'm going to be going into Bori. I'm going into Bori here. With a little pencil type brush. I'm just going into the inner corners of the eye. This one, I'm actually just seeing how this looks. Like, I've never used this color before. Not bad. Do you know what? I'm actually gonna finish the look after I've done my face. So yeah, that's basically my 2 pence. Like, I think, you know, you can't take everyone with you in your journey, and some people, they don't like where you've now gone to, the height of either success or prominence or whatever that you've gotten to, and they want to try and remind you who you used to be, because that's who they liked, because you weren't maybe as cool as them or popular as them, and you can't allow that. We can't keep on allowing that, especially as women. We already get bad-mouthed by the world at large, do you know what I mean? I don't need it from a friend as well. So I'm going to do the rest of my face now. Now I'm going to be using MUA eyeliner to line my lids, nothing too complicated, just a cute liner look. Then for mascara, it's Benefit's Roller Lash, and this really helps with my like shorter lashes. Now onto the face, I'm going to be using a buffer brush with L'Oreal's True Match Foundation. I'll put all the links and stuff below. Now to highlight, I'm going to be using e.l.f.'s mini stippling brush with LA Girl Concealer in Fawn and Beautiful Bronze mixed together. And I'm going to be highlighting under eyes, my chin, the bridge of my nose and my forehead. Then to contour, I'm going to be using Black Opal Stick Foundation in the hollows of my cheeks and around my forehead and places like that. And I'm just going to be buffing it in with this mini stippling brush. Now I've set all the places that I've highlighted with Sasha Cosmetics setting powder in Buttercup. I love this stuff. Now to bronze, I'm going to be using CoverGirl's bronzer all over the places that I've used the Black Opal foundation, and I'm just going to be pressing that in with a powder brush. And to set the contour further, I'm going to be using Sleek's Contour Kit in Dark. Now to set all of my makeup, I'm going to be using the Bare Minerals translucent powder. It's okay, it's a 6.5 out of 10 for oil control personally. Now finishing the eyes, I'm going to be using a small brush to apply NYX's eyeshadow base under the eyes, and I'm going to be using Zoba and adding that on top of that. I was able to get these amazing liquid lippies from MDM Flow. Thank you guys for sending them to me. They're a black owned UK brand, and I used Retro on top of a plum liner. Now another dope UK brand is Demure Lashes. If you haven't heard of them, they're dope. I'm going to be using these Rarity Lashes stack. To highlight, I'm going to be using Mary Lou Highlight. Now my hair is relaxed, washed and blow dried, and Palmer's were able to send me some really cool products. It's actually called the Olive Oil Edge Control, and I'm going to be first parting the first 2 inches of my hair starting from my temples, and I'm going to pull that into a hairband. Now this hair is gorgeous, and it's from Miami Hair Shop. Favorite curly hair so far. The curls are so bouncy, so natural looking. I sewed 3 bundles and a closure onto a wig cap. I'll put all the links in the description bar, and I made it snug and it fits on my hair, and it fits just behind my hairline really nicely. And I'm going to keep it in place with bobby pins around the perimeter. Now I'm going to be using Palmer's leave-in conditioner to moisturise my ends as well as to help pull apart the curls in the wig. I like the leave-in conditioner. It does soften my hair and it has no sulfates, which is good, but it does have 1 or 2 drying chemicals in it, and I'm not a fan of the smell. However, I do like using it at night to moisturise before I seal with coconut oil. Then taking some strands of the curly hair, I'm going to tie it with my hair into a half updo style. I'm going to shape it into a bun and get the shape I like and fix it with some bobby pins. Now using the edge control, it does work, but I find it works better with a silk scarf overnight. But I found that after using it, it can look a little bit white on your edges. It does slick down my edges very, very nicely though, but you've got to remember that my hair is relaxed. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.